Okay, according to Weintraub, neoclassical economics can be seen as a kind of progressive research program in the Lakatosian sense, so to speak. And according to him, the hardcore consists of some propositions. First, one of which is there exist economic agents. Sure. Two, agents have preferences over outcomes. Agents independently optimize subjects to constraints. Choices are made in interrelated markets. Agents have full relevant information or knowledge. Observable economic outcomes are coordinated, so they must be discussed with reference to equilibrium state. Well, actually, from this we can see that we are first dealing with individuals, agents. Second, they are optimizing agents, they follow optimizing rules, minimum cost, maximum result, maximum utility, maximum profit, whatever. And third, equilibrium as a state of rest is important in economics. So these three propositions, so to speak, one, individualism, two, rationality, optimizing, and three, equilibrium states, all define the hardcore of economics, neoclassical economics. Well, this is true in a sense because the shift from classical tradition to neoclassical tradition actually characterizes these three important propositions. Classical political economy focuses on social classes or social strata in general, we can say, instead of individuals. And second, they have nothing to do with the notion of scarcity or optimizing behavior and so forth. And third, their equilibrium is quite different from that of neoclassical economics. So he may be right in this regard. And according to Weintraub again, the positive heuristic says, go forth and construct theories in which economic agents optimize. Positive heuristic says actually do this and that, nothing more. And second, construct theories that make predictions about changes in equilibrium states. So comparative equilibrium is an important tool, for example, in economics, etc. The negative heuristics don't do that, etc. Do not construct theories in which irrational behavior plays a role. Second, do not construct theories in which equilibrium has no meaning. And last but not the least, do not test the hardcore propositions. So basically, neoclassical economics has these 6 propositions defining hardcore. And within the protective bed, the positive heuristic has 2 propositions and the negative one has 3 propositions. But if we go back again, according to Mark Bloch, hardcore of neoclassical program is about assumptions of competitive theory, rationality, constant taste, independence of decision-making, perfect knowledge, perfect sensitivity, etc. The positive heuristic divide markets into buyers and sellers and these all other things. And so there's a striking difference between Weintraub and Mark Bloch in their understanding, in their respective understandings of neoclassical economics as a representative of a methodology of scientific research program. So this also is not capable of solving our problem. How can we characterize neoclassical economics or economics in general from the point of view of the philosophy of science or methodology of science in general? So we can say, as Deborah Redmond says, actually, Bloch was wrong, not only paradigm, but also program should be banished from economic literature. So neither Kuhnian account nor Lakatosian account is capable of explaining the development of economic thought in general. So what are we going to do? I don't know. But we can say something like this in conclusion. The fascination with Popper, then Kuhn, and finally Lakatos represents a chronological succession that mirrors the development in the philosophy of science. For economists, are indiscriminately employing different views on methodology as immunizing stratagems. So we are simply, as economists, do from the perspective of economic methodology, whatever we like to do. You know, Jacob Weiner once said that economics is what economists do. So this is irrespective of the debates or discussions within the philosophy of science or scientific methodology issues, economists follow a simple line of argumentation. You know, we start from some important assumptions such as rationality, whose realisticness does not matter to us, and we try to develop a theory through logical deduction that should produce some important hypotheses or implications, and these hypotheses should be tested. It's like a positivistic methodology, but if you consider Friedman again, and basically the famous F twist does not lie within the philosophy of science literature. So it's the addition made by Friedman, and also most of the economists actually follow Friedman in this line. So economics can be characterized something like, I don't know, what can we say? It doesn't follow some strict rules. You know, Ernst Gombrich once said that, he's a historian of art, actually, an important historian of art. He says once, there's no such thing as art, only artists. So we can say the same thing about economics. There is a thing that is called economics, but if we attempt at explaining what kind of methodology economists should follow, it's an open question. Instead of this, we can simply repeat what Jacob Weiner says. Economics is basically what economists do. Great economists we are talking about, right? Adam Smith, Ricardo, Marx, Friedman, Keynes, etc., etc. So as a conclusion of today, I can say, we can define neoclassical economics with three important propositions. These propositions were actually taken from Frank Hahn's book, Equilibrium and Macroeconomics, in the preface of that book. He says he's a neoclassical economist. He's a very important economist, actually. And he contributed a lot into economics literature, from microeconomics to macroeconomics, in a wide range of issues he discussed. He says, I'm a reductionist in that I attempt to locate explanations in the actions of individual agents. Second, in theorizing about the agent, I look for some axioms of rationality. And third, I hold that some notion of equilibrium is required and that the study of equilibrium states is useful. So these three propositions, I can say, at least, together define the so-called hardcore of economic science, or scientific program, or paradigm, whatever you say. A rose is a rose, Shakespeare said, right? No matter how you call it. So what's in a name? But basically, when we talk about neoclassical economics, we should focus on these three issues: methodological individualism, so individuals do matter; rationality assumption, optimization behavior, self-interested behavior, etc. And third, equilibrium as a state of rest is important in economics. It's one of the most important propositions that define the very discipline of economics, we can say. So in the remainder of this course, we will be focusing on this, but even before that, we should start from the very first proposition, What is methodological individualism? Next week. I'll see you next week. Okay? See you guys later.